I'm Sonika Rook. I'm the Market Research Manager at UC Health, and this is my Proudest CX Moment. So working with a healthcare organization, it's all about our patients. We always remember what our purpose is, and it's how we're delivering experience to our patients. As a market researcher, I don't get to interact with them all the time. This particular project was really meaningful to me. We did a test on virtual reality and its impact to our cancer patients. What they do is they put on their headset, their headphones, and we can take them to the beach, we can take them to waterfalls, we can take them to space, really whatever they're interested in doing. One of my proudest moments was administering virtual reality to a patient who had a blood disorder, and she comes 2-3 times a week, half a day. After that, she's exhausted. Her disease has kind of taken over her life. For this individual, we actually took her to a waterfall in Venezuela. And the cool thing about virtual reality, it's very immersive. So you have these goggles on, you can't see anything around you besides this beautiful waterfall. It's 360, so if you turn around, you see a waterfall behind you, you see mountains, you see amazing views. As we administered the virtual reality, the best thing that she said to me was, "I felt free." And it was so powerful to me because she not only felt free from being in the environment that she was in, but she felt free from her disease. And for us to be able to offer an experience to patients and allow for them to be their best selves even beyond our walls is really empowering and motivating.
There's a lot of customers that actually rely on the post office. I don't think you can say that about a lot of other businesses. So customer service is vital for the post offices. People will have a choice now. They've got more choice than they've ever had. And in this day and age, customer service could be the difference between you gaining a customer for life or losing a customer for life just on somebody's 2-minute experience in your business.
When you give good customer service, the customers return to the branch often. When you bring in more customers, that means it's more revenue.
The current programme started off as a pilot phase in a few hundred branches, but has really grown over the last couple of years and is now in over 4,000 branches.
Every day, as a part of my role, being a manager, I go out, give them the little cards and tell them, let me see how many you can get today. It just gives so much pleasure to know that you have done a fantastic service to the customer.
At the end of the day, feedback's an absolute gift. Once you hit the response threshold, you get over 5 responses for the period. You get a report generated, and it's based on what the customers have put in for their responses. So it allows you to look at things as what is the customer's perception of your branch. Now, I could be working there and I could look at my business and I think it's one thing, but my customers could think it was something else. A second pair of eyes will always see things differently. It highlights development areas, it highlights achievements as well of what people have done. The voice of the customer is absolutely vital for me. It's one of the areas I'm measuring what sort of customer service level is taking places in the branches that you're ultimately responsible for.
Well, I pay my bills here. Sometimes I have advice. What very good is Mark here. He always, is very kind and very helpful.
In general, the service is really good.
Staff are they're very friendly and open to help. I do at times find, if we're unfortunate enough and we have to send mail the busier times, it can be somewhat of a wait. But generally, there's usually well staffed. It's usually pretty quick.
We've had a fantastic response over the last couple of years. It's been absolutely fantastic how our customers feel about ourselves in this branch.
We have had some good comments and the bad comments. So when it comes to the good comments, it's all fantastic. But when it comes to alerts then we have to see how we can improve.
Some of the comments we were seeing was sort of that the service is a bit lethargic, it's a bit slow, I feel like I'm waiting a long time. I went in and visited the branch and we timed how long the customer's waiting. And actually, the average wait time that day was just about a minute, well within what we're looking to, but it's the way the customers perceived it because it was quite a narrow shop and where it was. So sometimes it was something simple as we just moved away these little dump stacks in the middle of where it was, just to open up your shop a little bit more. That sort of allowed them to feel a bit more relaxed in there. And it's something very simple, and if it wasn't for the voice of the customer giving that feedback, I don't know whether this operator or myself would have ever spotted that.
I think for me, the way that stores and area managers can improve the customer experience is really to listen to what customers are saying. Each customer, every customer's view counts, it's really important. Sometimes that might be one customer's given a bit of feedback that says something needs to be improved, but that one customer's taken the time to give us that feedback, and therefore we'd be doing a disservice to our customers not to listen. So we really need to make sure that we're listening and acting on what they've said.
It's very helpful for us in changing and progressing. We want the customer to come back, and the good service will bring them back. It's very helpful and it's very valuable in the sense of making the post office go in forward.
For us, it's really important that we deliver a consistent experience across the whole of the post office network. That's every branch, every customer, every region, every time really, so that a customer really knows that they're having a good post office experience.
Ultimately, one of the best ways you can see that consistency is there's no surprise the branches that have the high responses on WOWs, the higher responses overall on voice of the customer, I can see a direct increase in sales figures as well, because it shows that they're completely customer focused.
We are in the customer service field, and without the feedback we can't do anything. So it's really important for us. It's most important for us.
Marston's have about 1,500 pubs. We have our programme in about 350 of those. It's been running for about 5 years now. I've been with Marston's for 4 years. So it's quite a mature programme. So some of the challenges for us in our programme are around creating new stories and creating new interest and keeping it fresh really and keeping people engaged with it. Ours is a people business, so the people that work in our pubs are really important, and so are the customers that come into the pubs. But I think one of the things for me is about how to really engage everybody around it and get some really useful insights from it that we can then use to make a difference in our business. Some of the things that are coming out of our survey, some of the insights are really starting to play a part in our strategy, particularly for our marketing teams and our food teams when they are developing new menus, for example. One of the tools that is really useful for that is using Explore, so that they can perhaps search on the word pizzas or on the word chicken or something like that and start to see what are they saying about chips or skin on fries and all these kinds of things, which is really, really important to the business. We've recently moved from it being a measure for our pub managers to being a measure for the deputy managers and assistant managers, which has really helped focus their mindsets on the customer and on getting more feedback and on the quality of that feedback, which in turn, just this year, has really helped drive the scores. We have a big system of reward and recognition in place. We ask the question, does anybody exceed your expectations today? And we give them then the opportunity to say, yes, Louise exceeded my expectations and this is what they did. And we get some fantastic stories back from customers. Some people will just leave one word, they'll just say the name of the person. Other people will leave a really long comment about how that person has really gone out of their way to make a difference to your day. It's great for that individual to get that feedback. We've also linked our scores through to financial performance, so we know that the pubs that have the greatest satisfaction scores also have the highest like-for-like sales growth. What's fascinating is that for the 4 years that I've been running the programme, food quality has always been the biggest driver of satisfaction. Just recently, we're starting to see a bit of a shift in that, and because we've been working really hard on getting that right and succeeding in that in some parts of the business that we've recently been looking at, now overall service has just pipped into first place as driving a positive experience. So that is a really exciting new finding for us, which we've just recently uncovered.